Juice WRLD was a rapper that was very fondly remembered as a legend. He talked about a lot of real shit such as heartbreaks, drugs, depression, etc. And with the pre-party out and with the party never ends dropping November 22nd, hopefully, we are expecting a lot of great songs to come out of it. But in the meantime, I figure I go over his 2020 posthumous album that came out, which was Legends Never Die, a project that has a lot of songs, but is a really well done project from Juice's team and really shows the talent that this kid really holds. Anyways, like, subscribe, follow all socials. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, like I mentioned, this album has a ton of songs in this album, and with this being a celebration and remembrance of a Chicago former legend, this album has a lot of special places in his career. As you got songs like Man of the Year celebrating his career and what he does to millions of listeners and kids who has saved his life or saved their lives just by listening and just talking about relatable topics that he definitely shows as a lyricist artist when you're going through the same type of things such as himself, such as like depression. And going to this album, I'm not gonna lie, this really gave me goosebumps, like really looking back at it, especially around the closing interlude where he uses his or they use his IG live and says that he's in heaven, which definitely gives me a lot of chills really going back to it. But besides that, this was a phenomenal project. This really showed Juice WRLD's talent and what he really did to influence a lot of like artists and a lot of his career. And he had a lot of production regarding this, and the production on this album was just so good when he's regarding like freestyling and the collection that he delivers regarding the amount of different albums and songs. This is like sort of a collection of what he does, and he really showed a lot in this album, and his team did an absolute good job. It was just pretty much a great collection of one of the well-known artists that passed away really shortly, and it does really well going to the first track, which is called Anxiety, with the intro. And this is pretty much him just like talking about like music and the lifestyle despite his addiction to the drugs, and despite of it, he really going to the deepest of struggles he's been to. Next up we have is Conversations. This one has like sort of like a 8 like beat with Ronnie on the beat. Once again with Juice WRLD talking about the struggles, even with a little bit of fame, along with lyrics such as "Juice like Tupac, no Ice-T," being a reference not only to one of the former legends, Tupac, as well as a reference to Ice-T, but also being sort of a reference to Tupac's, or not Tupac, my mistake, to Juice WRLD's early career when he had the Juice haircut, being a reference to Tupac's haircut from the movie Juice in his early career, which also happens of how he got the name Juice WRLD. But next up we have is track number 3, Titanic, not the movie, but although he refers to that in this movie as, in this song he pretty much explains of how his life is pretty much like a Titanic ship. For example, like the chorus, "Abandon all ships, it's about to go down. There's a lot of going on in my head right now." Next up we have is Bad Energy with track number 4, which has some of the choruses like matching with him while he talks about coping with paranoia and the struggles he had by taking drugs. Although, yes, it isn't really smart, he did it to drain the bad energy and forgive the bad memories he had. And one thing I do gotta appreciate about this album that I already said, but I just overall love the old like sound and production it really gave. They really took their time regarding this, and it sounds really, really well to match with not only Juice's lyrics, but what he does best with it. But anyways, next up we have is track number 5, Righteous. This song is one of the few songs that actually sounded like he was honestly crying for help and wasn't able to get it at the right moment. With him pouring, like, his heart out and pain of emotions towards the song, along with another one I'm going to talk about later, this is definitely one of the more sadder songs to listen to of what Juice was really like going through, such as verse 1 on the song, "Over ice I'm freezing, beautiful eyes deceiving, we may die this evening, coughing, wheezing, bleeding," which are definitely some hard feelings and deep like deep moments that he went through during like his drug addiction. And now that I'm thinking about it, he pretty much, if you really think about it, predicted his death multiple times with songs such as like Legends and Lean With Me. As from what I remember, I believe he passed away, unfortunately, due to a seizure, which, like I said, is really unfortunate for him. And this song, like I said, really reminds me of Lean With Me. And if you've seen the videos to that song, you know how deep of a song that is compared to like a Righteous, as it delivers the same cry for help. But anyway, we got the next song, track number 6, Blood on My Jeans. Another song that has like a not really a sad song, but a different side of him, showing affection for his ex-girlfriend, Ali Lottie. This is a good one, but definitely ages poorly considering the amount of damage that she has done to him over the past couple of years after his passing. And to be honest, is still kind of fucked up due to the fact that he poured his heart to her, and literally this is what she does to him years later. Really a messed up thing. But going to more of a positive one, next one we have is Smile with The Weeknd. I really like this one, with the chorus sounding great, just talking about his happiness, along with The Weeknd feeling that similar vibe and matching the song, while also still being iconic with his voice and the sound. It's a really good song with it. Next we have is track number 8, Tell Me You Love Me with Trippie Redd. And I'm gonna be honest, this is probably my least favorite song off the album. I do like verse 2 on Juice's part, but I guess my only wish to this song is I wish Trippie had a verse instead of him just playing out the hook wise. If he had a verse, I'll maybe probably give it the benefit of the doubt, but I still think it's good. It's just probably my least favorite off the album per se. But next one we have is a stacked one. Track number 9, Hate the Other Side with Marshmello, The Kid Laroi, and Polo G. This is a stacked song with a lot of artists, with Marshmello on the production side. And this is one of the few ones I really, really like. You know, Polo G rapping and giving the same energy it shows on the song, and Leroy really showing the passion it gives. And I believe he was the one of the few that actually saw Juice passing, unfortunately. And man, he really poured his heart out regarding this song. Bro had to tell you twice that he was still trying to get by. And with Marshmello giving the production, it is a great track. Next one we have, we're gonna skip the interlude, but we have Life's a Mess. This is a really, really like slow, depressed ass song with a slow beat, with Juice talking about his struggles, but still shows appreciation for his partner at the end of the day. And the feature on this song specifically, this probably might be my favorite on the feature, as there's a lot. I guess it's her voice. Like her voice, her vocals and chorus are not only matching Juice's, but her outro just really, really gives me goosebumps. And when I heard it again, man, it is such a good feature and it really gives me goosebumps. Next up we have, though, is track number 12, Come and Go with Marshmello. I remember this one visually because I vividly remember this dropping, like, I guess, like, when it came out. I remember I saw the cover, it came out, you know, Come and Go, Juice WRLD, Marshmello. I was getting excited, and I remember when I first saw it, I really liked the song. And don't get me wrong, I still like the song. You know, it Come and Go has this sort of rock star, upbeat sound. It feels like sort of like a concert, hyped up song, like a Marshmello concert, with a slow start, but rises up to like a build up. And then you can hear like the clapping in the background while Juice is doing his verse. And I visually remember this, like I mentioned. And don't get me wrong, I like the song. I really still like it, but I don't think it's not in my like full rotation and whatnot. It feels more of like a kid's song, if anything, and like a YouTube intro, gaming sort of intro song to get you hyped up, or even like a montage or something. But this ain't the first time that I guess Juice WRLD and Marshmello had collaborated, with a song like Bye Bye having another similar vibe. It's still a great song regardless. Next one we have, though, is track number 13, I Want It. Nothing out of the ordinary, just talking about girls, love, sex, etc. With also the same person. With yeah, same person on track 11, having vocals on this. Another great song. I don't want to mess up her name, so that's why I'm not saying it. I apologize. But next up we have is track number 14, Fighting Demons, which originally, again, talks about the fame and paranoia he has and him questioning a lot of stuff, such as in this song with a verse like, I got rich, I'm living that fast life, couple M's in my bank account, I got cash right, and that's supposed to make me happy. I got a couple questions. How come that shit don't ever make me happy? Really showing what it can do to someone, even if they have like all this money and fame, and he's just still not happy and whatnot. And it goes to show like some money really doesn't help with a lot, honestly. And speaking of, we're gonna go to the next song, track number 15, Wishing Well. Similar to Righteous, this is the other song I was talking about. This is another cry for help, and this one is like really, really deep. I remember this like dropping also. Man, this song was like really, really deep coming from him, and these lyrics, wow, are the deepest coming from him. Sometimes I don't know how to feel. Let's be for real. If it wasn't for the pills, I wouldn't be here. But if I keep taking these pills, I won't be here. Really deep lyrics and really not afraid to show how he feels about what he's really going through. And weirdly enough, to be honest, this song also kind of reminds me of my good friend World. Shoutouts to my friend World. He did a Fortnite montage of this song for some reason. That always like I don't know why. Every time I hear the song, it also reminds me of that sort of montage video. Shouts to World, man, them good days, man. Shouts to him. But anyway, sidetrack. Up next, we have track number 16, Screw Juice. A bit of like a positive energy with yes, still mentioning a couple of drugs. It's still like a slow track that shows the difficulties of finding someone. But anyway, we're almost done with the all this. Track number 17 we have is Up, Up, and Away. Kind of reminds me, this kind of reminds me actually of like something he would put out on like Goodbye and Good Riddance with like a sad island vibe with him taking drugs and just going all the way up above like like everyone else and whatnot. And like I said, I want to talk about interludes, but this interlude, the man, the myth, the legend, this is a great interlude with amazing artists such as like J. Cole, Travis Scott, Young Thug, Eminem, etc., talking about Juice's legacy and the amount of freestyles that he did. And it's crazy how he was such a like great freestyler overall. And despite the drugs he took, regardlessly, like he rapped and freestyled so hard, and he just did it on the top of his head, and he just it's just crazy to me. And I always, every time I hear him about like, oh, he did like a good job like freestyling, I always remember that time where I think it was like a podcast or something, but someone said that apparently when he did the album From Death to Race for Love, he did it in like 5 days, where he did like a couple like freestyle like topics on beats, and the person I guess that was producing it, let them choose like, okay, I'm gonna like rap on this, and you choose what is best, and I'll put it on. Which definitely shows the amount of skills it took for him to do this. Like he did this like just in only 5 days. Like that's crazy to me, and they all sound so different. It's crazy to me. Really, really insane. Speaking of freestyles, next one we have is Stay High. This song feels like one of those like freestylers, like I just mentioned, as you got Juice rapping his ass off, feeling like almost like a freestyle in a way. Better yet, even like the Eminem freestyle he did on the Tim Westwood, and more sort of laid back Juice WRLD, still a little bit hyped up, doing his thing, and him being such a talented artist. Track 20, we got Can't Die. Almost feels like one kind of really thinks about a lot of stuff and whatnot, and really reminds me of a song, one of my favorite songs of Juice WRLD's Legends. As you got the chorus, really reminds me of X and Lil Peep, rest in peace, and a ton of these rappers that passed too soon, along with like rappers nowadays still passing away like really fast, and it's just, man, it's not a good feeling, man. not a good feeling with all these like rappers who be passing away, not only at a young age, but also just rising to fame and then their life gets cut short. It's not a good feeling, man. Condolences to all their family and friends. I hope they're doing well. But as we wrap up this album, next we got track 21, Man of the Year. And this is one of the more exciting, memorable closings of a posthumous album. This is more of like a celebration and not so sore of a sad song, as it's more of a cherished moment as you get to, I guess, celebrate and of a rising star who made it happen and helped so many lives with this like rock star hype anthem. And it is such a great song, such a good closing of it. And it's just such a rock star, enjoyable, happy song with a little bit of bells in the background. It's such a good song, man. Such a good closing. And then we get the closing interlude, which is really touching, really sad. Still gives me chills, which is Juice WRLD Speaks from Heaven, which is the outro. And I know that got a lot of people, honestly, when he said,
I love y'all to death. I couldn't ask for better fans.
and just overall, this album was a phenomenal posthumous album with a lot of great production, a lot of great features. Shows a lot what Juice WRLD's talent was as an artist, and man, he is never forgotten. And he is definitely one of the few artists that really showed what he can do, and he is an artist that we are still well known today and is definitely a legend.